29 extra skill points. Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick2. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what I believe to be pretty much the most insane build in the entire game. As you can see, no matter what I'm doing, this build absolutely shreds just everything. I tried doing the Slaughter Shaft, Proving Grounds, Slaughter Star 3000, all this different stuff, and everything just dies pretty much near instantly, and that's with completely neutral modifiers. So if I were to have modifiers that increase like elemental damage or nade damage or anything like that, the damage would be absolutely unreal. Great part about this build is that it's actually really easy to set up. As long as you have a Moze, you can make this build pretty easily. If you guys are looking for a Moze build that can kill bosses really quickly, I'd recommend checking out the video that I posted yesterday. I'm able to kill Grave War just about as fast as Flak, which I think is pretty crazy. But without further ado, let's just get right into this build. I'll have some extra gameplay at the end of the video of me doing a Slaughter Shaft on Mayhem 3, and with some pretty neutral modifiers, actually nerfing my gun damage. So if anything, the modifiers are working against me, and obviously it's still insane. So gameplay at the end of the video. But anyways, getting into the build itself, it's pretty simple. Pretty much, we're just stacking as much nade damage, splash damage as humanly possible with abilities that give us our nades back, and then we can just keep spamming over and over and over again while also having unlimited ammo in our main gun. The main thing here, of course, is the grenade. So the grenade that I'm using is Recurring Hex. You want any homing nade. This is going to make it much easier for you when clearing out ads and stuff. You can use another nade, but personally the Hex nade, the Recurring Hex, or any of the Merv Hexes are very strong, and I definitely try to get homing ones. Of course, any homing nade I've heard is really good. I've heard that Stormfront is really good. To try to look for a homing nade. Personally, I think Shock and Fire is the best for ad clearing. Radiation is also pretty good, but anything will do fine, as the nade itself does a pretty decent amount of damage, as well as the gun that you're using. In terms of the shield that you're using, I don't really have anything that complements this. I just have the Transformer, which is pretty decent. Anything with a high capacity is alright. I don't know of any anointed effect that would make this build better, but hey, if you have any recommendations, leave it down in the comments. In terms of class mods, you want to get a Blastmaster class mod. Anything that gives you the effect where the longer Moze goes without reloading, the more splash damage it deals, up to 100%. You're pretty much never going to have to reload with this build if you set it up right. So you're pretty much gaining 100% splash damage all the time, and then as you can see, I also gain 28% splash damage on the relic itself, and I could also even get extra grenade damage and other stuff, which would be a huge source of extra damage as well. This also gives you +1 into redistribution and +1 into the ammo regeneration with your grenade crits, so definitely want to try to get a mod like this. I have a few other ones, but any Blastmaster is definitely what you want for the setup. In terms of the relic, I'm using a Deathless Relic. You don't have to use this. This is just for overall extra damage with my gun. But honestly, like you saw in the intro clip, you can use this build literally only throwing grenades. Shooting your gun is just extra damage, so you just kill stuff faster, but you don't even need that. Mainly just try to get extra grenade damage here. You could get grenade damage, shock damage, splash damage in one roll, and that would be really, really strong. Obviously, the imbue slam part is completely useless with this, but isn't really that big of a deal. Mine is Deathless as well, which is really nice. I was using this anyways for the 30% grenade damage, but Deathless is good because it doubles your shield capacity, and it also reserves 1 health, which is really good with the talent Desperate Measures, which gives you extra damage, so you're getting pretty much 50% gun damage up all of the time. So there's only one part of this build that is super important, and then the rest of it is pretty much for getting extra gun damage, which of course allows me to just clear mobs as fast as I am using my gun. I think it is worth speccing into gun damage, etc., because overall it just, increases the efficiency of using the build, etc. But if you're trying to do this at a low level, you can actually do it with relative ease. Just as you saw, like I said, as you saw in the intro clip, you can literally spec just only into these perks and you're fine. So first off, we're going Fire in the Skag Den. This is just so that we can get further down in the tree. This is helpful if you're using an Incendiary Grenade because it's going to increase your splash damage whenever you deal incendiary damage. If you're using a main weapon that is incendiary, this is also pretty nice, or if you're using a nade that is incendiary. By the way, before I get more into this, I want to talk about the gun that I'm using. I'm using Hive. The main reason is because this has homing missiles, so you shoot it and then every little thing it's homing. You can also shoot it while throwing your grenades, so overall that's going to make it really good, and you're never going to have to reload with that, and that also scales off of getting more splash damage. So a Hive is really good. I'd recommend a Radiation one or Fire one if possible, because we're getting extra incendiary damage. If you know of any other homing rocket launchers or anything that would also pair very well with this build, leave it in the comments. You definitely just want to use any gun that allows you to throw grenades while shooting, because you want to be doing those two things simultaneously to get the most out of this build. The rest of these perks are kind of useless. You definitely want to get 3 into Means of Destruction. Whenever Moze deals splash damage, there's a chance to add ammo to a currently equipped weapon with a smaller chance to return a grenade. You're doing splash damage every time you throw your grenade, and you're also doing splash damage every time you shoot your rocket launcher. So you have a very high chance of giving yourself back a grenade and, you know, giving you back your ammo to your main gun. You definitely want to go 5 into Toward Cross Promotion. All splash damage dealt by Moze has a chance to double in size. There's a 15% chance to double. Anytime it doubles, it pretty much will just do extra damage to any enemies around it. So I definitely go 5 into this. Next thing you 100% want is Pull the Holy Pin. Moze's grenades have a chance to score a crit, dealing greatly increased damage. Sources of crit hit damage do not affect grenade crits. Current effect, 40%. So every time you crit, or every time you throw a grenade, you have a chance to crit, increasing the damage. Overall, free damage. That's really nice. The next thing I would go into is why can't I carry all these nades? This is going to give you extra 3 nades. Honestly, I don't even know if you need this. I don't ever see myself getting under 3 nades, so you could easily just go into Means of Destruction and just ignore this, but I don't really see a reason to not use this, maybe to get some extra perks in one of the other trees, which we'll talk about right now. The rest of these are pretty useless. You can go into Vampire if you want to get a lot of like health regen or something, but this is kind of useless when you're using Deathless, and it's also useless because, I mean, we want that damage, dude. We don't give a shit about survivability. We want that big damage. Next thing, I'm just going to try to go fast here. 5 into Armored Infantry. This is going to give you increased gun damage and damage reduction whenever you are shooting whenever your shields are up. So this pairs very well with the Deathless Relic because we are just getting, you know, our shield capacity pretty high. I went 5 into Drowning in Brass. This is going to give you extra gun damage every time you kill an enemy. Overall, just more gun damage. This is going to max out at 3 stacks, but you'll have this up pretty frequently, so you get 60% extra gun damage, which is really good. Then I just put 2 into Thin Red Line and 4 into Vladoff Ingenuity. You can kind of spec this however you want. I went 1 into Experimental Munitions. Whenever Moze scores a crit, she deals bonus incendiary damage. I'm not sure if this works with the Nade crit skill. It says that sources of crit damage don't affect the grenade crits, but it doesn't say anything about this not affecting the grenade crits. So this could easily end up doing a lot of extra damage with your nade, but you want to spec into this anyways, just cause. And then you want to go 3 into Desperate Measures if you have a Deathless Relic. If you don't have a Deathless Relic, you can skip Desperate Measures. And then I went 5 into Phalanx Doctrine. Every time you kill an enemy, you gain a stack of this. It's going to increase your shield capacity and also increase your damage. The main thing you want is just the gun damage. Every time you kill an enemy, that's 10% damage, and it has no stack limit. I was getting upwards of 15 stacks, which is just crazy. I mean, that's 150% gun damage. So safe to say my hive was doing a little bit of damage there, and it lasts for 30 seconds too. So definitely want to go for this if you're trying to get as much gun damage out as possible. The problem with going into that is that I missed getting 2 into Redistribution, but I don't know that you necessarily need it because with my class mod, I already get +1 into this. Getting +2 into this is definitely helpful because it's going to make it to where you 100% will never have to reload your hive, and you'll see that at the end of the video. But if you don't have a class mod that gives you 1 into this, I would definitely just skip Phalanx Doctrine. Just go like 3 into Phalanx Doctrine, and then just put 1 more point into Cloud of Lead, which is going to give you extra incendiary damage and gives your gun a chance to not actually consume ammo, which is really good. And then just put 1 point to Redistribution just to make sure that you never have to reload your rocket launcher. Obviously, you never want to reload because of your class mod being the longer you go without reloading, the more splash damage you deal. And of course, you don't want to waste your time, you know, doing a 5-second reload. So that's pretty much it for the build, guys. There's just some stuff you can play around with here. If you want to go further down into other trees and test other stuff, you can. The main component is really just getting this far into the blue tree, getting yourself some nades, and then having a good nade. That's pretty much the gist of the build. Obviously, going into some gun damage here and there helps because my hive actually ends up doing like 30k damage every homing missile, which is just ridiculous, and it makes clearing stuff probably 2 times faster. And if you were to get elemental damage as a modifier and just sit in Circle of Slaughter, you could probably literally one-shot everything, because if you got 70% elemental damage, that's 70% extra damage for your nades, 70% extra damage for your hive. So That's a lot of damage. As Phil, what's the guy? I don't remember. Phil Swift? I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, if you guys have any gun recommendations, please leave it down in the comments. Any other nade recommendations? This one also has a decent anointed effect, but I never go into Iron Bear, so I don't know. Do you guys have any recommendations? Just leave it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Merv Hex, Recurring Hex, those are the best. I've heard that Stormfront is also good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Enjoy the gameplay. Alright, peace. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. When they die, it spreads. Oh, okay. Alright. Then we can do radiation. So. Jesus, the zealots are tanky as balls, man. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't fucking matter, though. He just plans on never playing the game. He said he is going to play Shadowkeep. He didn't say that in the DM, but he said that like another time. I don't know when he'll play it though, but he might play it when it drops. My buddy and I were in a lobby and we could just keep clicking more skills for some reason. Did you like matchmake with somebody that was like cheating? That's cheat engine. I don't think he's using cheat engine because he wouldn't. He would just say he's using cheat engine. We did matchmaking? Okay, you probably got into a game with somebody that was like doing some shit. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this, dude? Imagine if I had like extra like radiation or extra shock damage or some stupid shit like that. Or literally just extra elemental damage. That's all I would need. Oh my god, he's teleporting. Cut it out. You guys take a little bit to kill because they have just like a lot of HP, but whatever. Oh my god, my screen. It's still really fast. Wait, do I need to start the next round? Round 2, dude. Should I just camp? Here, can we get into like a nutty camping spot? Alright. Think they'll bother me up here? Hey, leave me alone. Stop. Max, damn. On my screen. Like, I can't even process what's happening on screen. There's just so much. There's just so much crap. This definitely makes for a good video, though. What do you need for that build to work? A recurring hex and a Moze character. That's about it. It would obviously be better if you have like all the right shit, but it's not a big difference. But you want to just get as much nade damage as possible. I literally have minus damage with my hive right now. My grenade launcher. I have minus damage with it right now. So I would be doing... If I were to like go out of my way to get elemental resist as a modifier, everything would actually fall over like that. Or if I went for nade damage. Because everything is elemental right now. The modifiers right now are pretty much completely neutral. Thanks for following, Dub Pilodon. Dub Palidon 16. I read that as 69, dude. But even with no LE modifiers, damage is crazy. And I have minus 50% gun damage. Most of the damage from the nade anyway, but the hive does do a shitload once you have all your like Phalanx Doctrine stacks up. I mean, I can just only use the hive and see how much it does. I mean, if you stack Phalanx Doctrine, like if I went and got more, it would do even more damage. Holy fuck, I just murdered myself. I actually just shot the ground on accident. Please kill something. Pretty please. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're fine. Oh, you keep your stacks. Okay, how much damage does hive do by